What happens when a place becomes a beacon of love for Jesus simply by serving people food?
Excuse me. Sorry. What's up, Sean? What's going on, everybody? Hey, what's up?
This is the curious case of the Curry House Church. The Curry House Church. Chapter 1, The Core Four.
Excuse me. Sorry. What's up, Sean? What's going on, everybody? Hey, what's up?
Taking a video of how many people are in the kitchen.
You know now. Just take a walk away.
In 2008, 4 guys moved into a house across the street from the University of Findlay. These guys were students at Weinbrenner Theological Seminary. They move into this house, and almost immediately a community develops in this house with these 4 guys. It was a community born out of the fellowship that these 4 guys had, and that fellowship began before this house. Before these 4 guys moved into this house, it began with these 4 guys in a different place at a different time. This is the story of Adam Kaufman, Kyle Nation, Keith Doyle, and Jeffrey Gujar-Lamoody, and how God used them in a time, in a place, to serve a community simply by cooking food and loving people through serving them food. Across the street from the University of Findlay. And almost immediately a community develops. It was a community born out of the fellowship that these 4 guys had. These 4 guys. It began with these 4 guys. This is the story of Adam Kaufman, Kyle Nation, Keith Doyle, and Jeffrey Gujar-Lamoody. How did KCC lead to the Curry House?
It started with the community environment at KCU. At the core of it, the most valuable thing that I took away was the community. And what I mean is real community, where you're living in a building surrounded by other guys, you know. So I don't know, 150 guys in the dorm that we were in. Waters Hall. And within that building, forming a smaller group of friends and brothers. The last couple of years, I got to know you that way. I got to know Jeff, Gujar Lamudi, Kyle Nation, and Keith Doyle. The bridge from that community environment to the community of the Curry House really was formed through Dr. Stats.
Okay. Now, in that same period, we have a little sunny book, the Book of Ruth. It's the little bright light of sunshine in the book. Can anyone tell me what the Book of Ruth is about?
At Kyle and Jeff's graduation party, we got to meet Dr. Stats for the first time. He was him and his wife Janet were supporters of Star Ministries in India, Jeff's parents' ministry over there. They'd known the Gujar Lamudis for 20 years, so and they lived in Ohio, so it wasn't a long drive, and they came to the graduation party, and Kyle and I ended up in the same room at the same table talking to them. That's how we met him at that party, and then he was a professor at Weinbrenner Theological Seminary in Findlay. Dr. Stats just felt burdened at the end of that summer to contact Jeff and to invite, through him, all of us to come to Weinbrenner, to his seminary. We jumped at that chance and said, okay, let's do this. It's something we can do together. That was the important thing, was community. We can have this community that was formed at KCU, whether it's at Gordon Conwell or this other place or anywhere else. And that was the main thing we kept in mind, is where can we go together. So we went, and for the first year we all commuted. There's no live on campus, there's no dormitories, everyone commutes from somewhere else. So I was driving from my parents' house, I was living with them west of Indianapolis and driving 4 hours every week. Jeff and Kyle were coming from Lexington, or around the Lexington area, or Versailles, Kentucky, I should say. And Keith was not quite on board yet, but he came on board eventually. And after a year of commuting, literally we were at Denny's, and I said, why don't we just move here and rent a house instead of driving like this? Because it was 2 more years, and like we couldn't do this. We all stayed overnight at Dr. Statz's house, and so he allowed us to be there in his home. And so that summer we made plans to rent a house, and we found one in August before the next year's semester started, and moved in, and that was really, that was the bridge. Dr. Stats, all that to say, Dr. Stats was the bridge that got us from KCU to Findlay and Weinbrenner. I would say Dr. Stats and his wife Janet they planted the seeds that grew into the Curry House.
They opened their home to you so that you could do this program as a commuter for the first year.
Yeah.
And so that was the first pre-Curry house in Findlay.
Yeah, and they loved Curry, you
Yeah.
know. So having known Jeff's family, they loved Curry. They invited us. The exchange of us staying in their home each week was us cooking curry for them. And
So it was technically kind of the first Curry house.
yeah.
So there
Really was 3 Curry houses.
there was 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it like that, but yeah, it's true. something at the core of this for us. We did have a theology of our own that was very specific. And it was something that we all kind of believed in very strongly from the beginning when we weren't trying to manage our own church, but just living together. It was the 4 things in the book of Acts, that define what a church is, the 4 marks of a church. You have it comes from Acts 2:42. You have fellowship, prayer, breaking of bread, and the apostles' teaching. And for us, that was what was always at the core of what we were doing. The four of us, myself, Jeff, Kyle, and Keith, that was really important for our fellowship. And that idea of making those 4 things kind of the core of what we were doing in terms of community, that is what grew, I think. And that never waned. And I think that was important when we got to a point where there was a large group of people orbiting around us. There was something solid that we were planted on, that people knew. And that was expressed when we started having a more formal church. That was the verse at the core of our church, Acts 2:42, that were these 4 things. And that was always really important for us, that was what we could come back to. And that, I think, kept it from ever becoming a unmanageable chaos outside of the Holy Spirit's will.
Fellowship, breaking bread, prayer, and the apostles' teaching.
Yeah.
Those 4 things, huh?
Yeah. And I would define breaking of bread isn't just communion.
Right.
It's having
Meals
communal
together.
meals.
The Tuesday night. The curry night. You call
Curry
it
night.
curry night.
Curry night.
Yeah.
So in the early church, it was a meal. Breaking of bread was a meal.
It was.
But they did designate, there's a solemn part of this meal that's designated for the Lord, where we focus on Him and His sacrifice. So that's why we added that element initially just for ourselves. And then when we started having night church, then we opened that up to others.
Yeah.
So then the fellowship is the koinonia, the gathering of people that was constantly happening. This is what we're doing. We're having fellowship, and the focalized point of that was Tuesday night, and then we kind of tried to make Sunday night an additional focus time, but again, that was kind of out of our control. God's like, I'm going to give you fellowship when I want to. And so fellowship we were never really without that element. It was kind of always occurring.
Naturally, through fellowship, through friendship, through the knowing of each other and the getting to know of each other on a deeper level. Just through the pure desire to know each other and know God, period.
What happens when a place becomes a beacon of love for Jesus simply by serving people food? What happens when 4 guys allow the Holy Spirit to do what the Holy Spirit wants? This is the story of the Core 4 and the Curry House Church that developed as a result. Have you heard the curious case of the Curry House Church? The curious case of the Curry House Church. The Curry House Church.
They love curry. The exchange of us staying in their home each week was us cooking curry for them. let's be encouraged for him.
What happens when a place becomes a beacon of love for Jesus simply by serving people food? Serving people food. What happens when 4 guys allow the Holy Spirit to do what the Holy Spirit wants? Do what the Holy Spirit wants. This is the story of the Core 4 and the Curry House Church that developed as a result of their faithfulness to God and their love for each other and their love for Curry. Curry, and their love for Curry.
Alright guys, so here's the rundown. January 28th is the first Wednesday, and every Wednesday following there will be a new episode of The Curious Case of the Curry House Church until we are finished. See ya.